Hello you guys, it is Katrina here. Welcome to today's video. So it is currently Vlogmas day number 13. I want to apologize in advance. I do have an explanation that kind of just sums up today's video of like where I've been for the past couple days. So I decided that I would give myself another chance at this whole dating thing. So let me just talk about my findings and stuff like that. This is gonna sound bad, but there's this dude who I had gotten with back in like September, I guess. It was like a one-day date type thing. I don't really want to get into specifics, but it was like a whole day date with me, the kids, and him. And then later on in the day, we had our own separate time. We went and seen a movie. It was great, but there was just some type of like weird vibes going on that I personally just did not understand. Like I knew something was off, but I just couldn't pinpoint it to what exactly that could be. To this day, I still don't personally know what exactly it could be, but there are red flags. So we ended up stopped talking to each other like literally after that day. It was more so on my end because the vibes just weren't there, and something about him made me uncomfortable, and I personally just didn't understand it. That, and he was talking a lot about his achievements and his accomplishments, and personally how I feel when someone is interested in me and they've accomplished a lot more than me. I personally just don't feel like I fit the puzzle piece to their puzzle, if that makes sense. Because like, I've always been that type of person where I feel like we should both be on the same page in life. Maybe not necessarily exact, like 100% exact, but more so of like just relatively close achievements, just as far as like maturity goes on both of our ends. Like our maturity should be like leveled out, and in my opinion he just seemed a little too mature for me. Like he was just more serious with his life, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't mind a guy who has everything set out and everything for themselves and literally just getting on the right path that they personally need to be on. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not hating, but personally I just felt out of place, and I didn't see how it was gonna go anywhere. And even before this incident, there was an incident a couple months back before that where he had taken me out on a date, and I want to say this was like earlier in the year. We went out to like this mall outlet, and he kept offering to like buy me stuff, and it just made me really uncomfortable. I'm just not that type of person who wants somebody to be spending like their money on me, especially when it comes to material items. Like I just don't value material items at the end of the day. Like we went into a shoe shop, and he was trying to, you know, talk me into getting a pair of shoes from him. And then we went into this like perfume shop and went around, smelled some different perfumes. I personally don't wear perfume. Like I've just never been a person to wear perfume. I'm more of like a lotion chick. Like literally take a shower, lotion up, you know, put on some deodorant, yada yada yada. I just don't wear perfume that much because I am, well, I used to be allergic to roses, and I have such sensitive skin. My skin does not like me putting things into my body that it just doesn't like, you know. Like we literally went into the perfume shop. I tried on different samples, you know, they sprayed it on a piece of paper, flapped it around, let me smell it. My nose got fucked up, so I had to stand outside for a minute and let my nose like reset itself. And then he was trying to talk me into like buying the one that I liked the most, which I guess was like $50 something, and I just was not comfortable with that. I just, in my opinion, like $50 for perfume is just too much money. Like I feel like the max I would personally spend on perfume is like, I don't know, maybe $20. Like I'm just not, I have an expensive taste, but I don't like other people spending that much money on me, if that makes sense. Because I more so think about the financial aspect of the other person, and whether you're financially stable or not, I'm going to feel bad about it. Like, I'm just always been that type of person. I hate it when people try to buy me expensive ass shit and they just go out and buy me things. I was spoiled as fuck as a little girl. My dad used to buy me diamond rings by the time I was literally, like, I think I got my first ever, like, diamond ring when I was, like, maybe 8 or 9. I know by the time I was 9, I had so many diamond rings and so many different rings that my dad would just spoil me. Like, he would literally just buy me so much jewelry, and I don't know why he did that, but, you know, it's your dad at the end of the day. You gotta appreciate it. But yeah, that was like our mall date, and then I called it off. I felt uncomfortable with the fact that he wanted to buy me so many things. Well, this time around, he messaged me because he had some career choices that he decided to work on, and he said he was about done with school. I mean, I was happy for him and everything like that, and he was just like talking to me back about like when me and the kids and him went all on that date and everything, talking to me how we never technically broke up, and he still wants to try to make things like work out with me. And I just kept pointing, you know, you're in a higher place than what I am right now. And yeah, that can be beneficial for me, but personally, like, that intimidates me. That scares me. Because, I mean, like, I feel like my personal partner should be on the same level as me, and he's just higher up. Like, I see him as a higher up. Like, I'm down here, he's up here, you know? And we talked about it a little bit more, and then he's talking about going to somewhere way up north. I don't even really want to bring up the exact location, but up by like Canada, like really, really far up where it's so cold. And I told him how I didn't want to go with him and everything like that, because his idea of me was to like make me a housewife, and I just was not comfortable with that. I want to work, you know. I don't feel right living off someone else's income. Like, and he made it clear to me too about that, like, if we get married, it will be our income, not just, you know, his at the end of the day. But the way how I see it is, you work for it, it's yours, you know. That's just how I was raised. Like, you don't live off of someone's, you know, income. Like, yeah, you can support each other with each other's income, but you don't just live off someone's income. You don't do that. We got to talking, and then not yesterday, but like a couple nights ago, he came over, we talked, hung out. Everything went well, I guess. I still had a feeling that something was wrong. I just couldn't personally point it out. Like, I just couldn't point it out. Like, he seemed fine, he seemed comfortable. He's really good with the kids. Like, don't get me wrong, he's really good with the kids. It's just there's a couple of red flags that I ended up picking up, and then he came over tonight, and I ended up picking up some more red flags. And it's just like things that you don't really joke about, things that I personally experienced. He was kind of joking about it. And of course, when you've experienced traumatic things and someone goes to try to make a joke about it, your trauma response can either be laugh about it, even though it's not funny, or it can be just literally lashing out on them. And mine was literally just laughing, even though it wasn't funny. Lucas just fell off the bed. Like, he literally just leaned back and fell off the fucking bed. That was hilarious. So we got to talking, and he's like, so what are we, you know? I didn't know if we were still like dating or what. And I'm literally like, after he like pointed out some like red flags and what's not, I don't even know if he realizes, like, he just pointed out like a couple of red flags to me that I'm just not interested in pursuing. I don't know if he realized that he did that or not, but I'm not trying to play fuck around and find out. You know, there's so many things that we've personally talked about that I'm just not comfortable with, and I know that can just be addressed by like talking to your partner and letting, you know, them personally know that you're not comfortable with certain things. But then there's another thing where I feel pressured into something where we've talked about it multiple times. Like, he keeps bringing it up, and I have to make it clear, like, hey, you know, this is not something I want to happen like anytime soon because of like what happened in the past. And I know it's just like, something that you have to overcome over the years, but it's just like, it's like the trust thing. I don't trust people easily, and I mean, we'll use the kids for example. Like, let's say that the dude wanted to have a baby with me, right? My experience from my current kid's father, you know, is not a good one. Hasn't been a good one. There's been so many bumps, and it's to that point where the kids do not have like a permanent father in their life. Like, they just don't have that. So it's just like, if he were to talk to me about having another kid, and then after me giving, you know, being truthful and what's not about how I personally feel about it, just imagine like that person just bringing up that situation, like, hey, you know, how would you feel if you had a baby? Or like, how would you feel if we, you know, I ended up getting you pregnant by accident? How would you feel about that? How would you feel about this, and this, and just anything baby related? It's super uncomfortable, and it's just like, I feel like once you have a discussion on something and you get an answer from your partner or whoever you're dating, checking out, whatever, you know, once you get an answer from them about something so serious as big as, you know, maybe having another baby, as an example, it's just not, it's not something that you keep pushing, and it literally, like, it's so unattractive. Like, someone says to you and is very honest to you about, you know, an answer, and you just keep talking about it, and you keep talking about it, and you keep trying to like almost like get into their head and make it sound good, where like they will agree with you, like, hey, this is a good idea. It's honestly just so unattractive. Like, that's peer pressure. That's not something that I personally want to pursue, and I really need to learn to appreciate my best friend. Like, literally, he knows this, and I told him I was gonna come on here and like talk about my whole experience, because he kind of knows everything that's been happening over the past couple days, because he's like the only one I trust really at the end of the day. You know, I have other friends, but they don't ever come and check up on me. I can't trust them to, you know, go to them to talk to them, because they will go and talk to everybody else about my business, and it's just not fair on me, because I'm trusting you with some personal information. Here you are out spreading information that has nothing to do with anybody else, just something I thought maybe like me and you personally could talk about, you know. I understand that now, and I never say this very often, but I thank God for having such a good ass best friend like Jim. Like, you guys will never know. He actually just pointed out something while I was talking to him. He's still texting me on freaking Snapchat, so hey, chill out. He pointed out something about the vlog that he was in. Basically, he has very special, I like to say ancestor angel numbers. So like, everybody has angel numbers, and usually one particular number, you have a birth number, you have a birth angel number, and then you have a specific angel number that always reoccurs throughout your life. I don't really know what his birth angel number is, but I do know his reoccurring angel number is 444, and that's very special for like spirits, ancestors, you know. It's just it's a very unique number. I didn't realize it, but I guess 13 was the time for his vlog, and that's 4-4, so that was totally unintentional. I honestly didn't realize that until he said something about it. But like, talking to him and everything, he's honestly like a true friend at the end of the day. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna have another true friend, you know, who's as honest and as blunt. And the reason why I bring him up too is because I'm just gonna be honest, I wasn't sure if me and dude, not me and Jim, but I wasn't sure if me and dude were going to be spending any type of like New Year's together or anything like that. I wanted to leave some space out, because me and Jim had already made plans for New Year's. I wanted to change things up and say that I wanted to spend a couple hours with Jim, and then leave some extra time for the dude who I was bonding with, I guess. And I'm not a good friend, if you want me to be completely honest. I'm just not a good friend. I'm still learning, obviously. I'm still learning to be a good friend, and I really... I got called a pain in the ass, which I agree, by the way. I'm not like taking it as like disrespectful or anything like that. Like, I know, I'm very aware I'm a pain in the ass. I need to learn to start treating my friends so much better, and me and him, we've already talked about it. Like, we said that we wouldn't allow another man to get in between our friendship. Like, that's what happened last year with you know, my ex. Ended up spending New Year's with a dude who didn't even mean shit to me at the end of the day. Ended up treating me like shit at the end of the day. And I think it's fair that I should be valuing my time with people who actually mean a lot to me, and they actually show that they genuinely care, instead of wasting my time with people who just, you know, they're not genuine at the end of the day. Yeah, I just feel like a dumbass friend. Like, I've never personally met someone as genuine as him. Like, I'm a shitty ass friend. I'm sorry, I just am. I'll learn to, you know, start trusting myself, start trusting my intuition. And like I said earlier in the video, I don't want to play fuck around and find out no more. Like, there's just so many red flags that's being shown to me. And I've learned that from, you know, this year. Like, if I'm picking up on someone's red flags, like, everyone's gonna have some type of red flags. Doesn't matter who they are. But if the red flags are more like, if it has alarms in the background, like, it's not just a red flag, but you can just hear it, like, you can literally hear it, I guess is the best way to put it, that is a no-go. Like, that's like a danger. Like, red flag is like warning, you know, stop. But hearing sounds like in the background of, you know, those very specific red flags that you pick up from people, it's just something else is going on. And I hate to be that person, because this dude talked about like how much he really cared about me, how much he, you know, wanted to be with me. He's really good with the kids. Like I said before, like, he doesn't have a problem with the kids. The kids like I literally have a picture of the dude and the kids together. Like, the kids will genuinely walk up to him and just sit on his lap. Like, it's just not a problem. Like, I don't like what's being told to me. I don't like the vibes. I don't like the vibes. Like, he doesn't give me creepy vibes or anything towards my kids. Like, I don't sense any danger that has to do with the kids. I just feel like there is something, for me personally, that could be quite dangerous, and I don't know what it is. It's just, I've been telling myself this since the first time he came over, which was a couple days ago. Like, there's just some type of dangerous vibe about this dude, and I don't really get it. And I'm not calling him a bad person. It's just, there's something about him that is just off, something that's not right. And I love having my best friend, because he sensed it too. Does it seem like it's like deceiving? Like, is there something deceiving about him? And he's like, yeah, there's something there's something about him. He's just, you know. So I like confirmation at the end of the day. Confirmation on things is really, like, it suits better with me rather than anything else. Like, it really just suits better than, you know, trying to read the red flags. Like, if two people can sense something about someone, you know, it's probably safe to just not pursue it. Yeah, I don't really have any plans for today either. I just figured I'd catch you guys up. I don't know, someone made a comment on my last video when I went to go talk about like cheating ass men, relationships and shit like that, saying these are the type of people I attract. And this is the vibe I give off, and I really don't understand that either, because I really don't have any, like, I'm not a hoe, basically, to put it short. I'm not a hoe. I'm not online showing off my body. Not even in real life do I show off my body. I've always been a very, not conservative, but I've been very respectful to my body about what I post and how I show my body, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure if it's that, or just something else. I don't know. I'm not on here trying to like argue or anything, so don't just take it that way. It's just that was a comment that was told to me. But personally, I think honestly men and both women have just given up on relationships, and they're just looking for more. And honestly, that's kind of lenient towards this person. Like, he just seemed like he's more interested in other stuff. Like, I don't really want to get into our personal business, but he was just nosy about my body while he was here, and I personally don't like that. Like, I like the attention, obviously, because it's someone who I am, like, you know, getting to know, dating, somewhere between the lines of dating and getting to know, like literally boyfriend, girlfriend / getting to know, you know. But at the same time, it's like, you shouldn't just be like, I mean, for example, you shouldn't just be lifting up your girlfriend's shirt whenever you want to see her boobs. Like, literally just not even asking first. Like, consent is kind of an alarming factor into this, and I'm big on consent, so yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here, though. Kids are watching Camp Coral. I just figured I'd update you guys and let you guys in on the scoop. Speaking of which, you guys, give me some freaking vlogging ideas. I definitely need them. Like, I definitely need some freaking ideas, because I am lost. I'm lost. I almost don't want to do Vlogmas no more, because I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, what am I gonna do? I can't just be on here telling you guys my business the entire time. Like, it's no fun. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 14. I'll see you guys later. Peace.